Today we're going to introduce you to the Ember, which is the first indoor-outdoor portable emergency oven. Hey Provident Preppers, I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Kylene, and I am so excited today because we are going to introduce to you the world's first indoor-outdoor portable oven. And it's called the Ember, and it is created by our friend Konel, who recognized that there was a problem, and then he created a real solution for it. Now, there's a couple of reasons why I really like this. One is because it can be used indoors with canned heat. You'll always need to have a little bit of ventilation, right? You never want to burn anything without a little bit, but this doesn't emit lots of bad stuff. It's because it's just using the canned heat. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take the wick and we just kind of fluff it just a little bit. This is the snuffer, and we're just going to make sure that it's not, oh, wrong end. Sorry about that. We're going to make sure that it's not taller than 1 inch. He's just going to open this drawer that's on it and put the canned heat in here, just like this, and we're going to light it. Now, see this? This is called a heat shield, and you want to make sure that the heat shield goes on it before it goes into the oven.
Just like
anyway,
that.
That protects the cans. There are two, what do we call these?
Dampers.
There are 2 dampers.
Thingamabobbers.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, thingamabobbers.
One right here in the front and one in the back. And when we're using the canned heat, we're going to want both of those all the way open. It's going to take about 30 minutes for it to get up to temperature. So watch this, and I'll get John's lunch ready. Okay, how long has it been, John?
27 minutes.
Okay, so it's been 27 minutes. It's only made it to a little bit over 300 degrees, but I'm not going to have the problem in a regular oven with the preheating. You've got all that heat on the top, and I'm not going to have that problem with that. Ooh, it smells good, huh? And so we're just going to slide this in and start cooking it. One thing that we have right here, this is just water. Nothing else but a little bit of water in the bottle. If anything happened and this got out of hand, the water should be able to put out the flame with the canned heat. So far, there's nothing, like there's no smell in the house or anything. The first time that we used it indoors, it smelled like something was burning off the top, like the new factory stuff. So the first time you use it, I think I'd use it outside because it was a little bit stinky. This time we're not having any problems with it at all. I did notice one other thing, and that's a little bit of the paint is starting to bubble up and spray, just bubble up. So when you're using this, especially if you're using it outside, it's not going to have the new beautiful look for very long, but we don't have it to look beautiful. We have it because it's functional. And so we'll give this like probably 30, maybe 40 minutes, and we'll be right back.
All right, Konel, show us how, I mean, this is pretty amazing to me. Show us how it works. Give us the quick tour, if you will.
Okay, this is what I call the world's first indoor-outdoor portable oven. The idea is that you can take it camping and use it in your everyday activities, using sticks and twigs and charcoal to light it. Then if the power goes out in your house, you got an emergency, now I've got a way to have an oven inside the house.
So in an emergency in your house, you're not going to be putting charcoal and sticks in there.
No.
Where do we go? Where do we go indoors?
Okay, so indoors you want to use canned heat. So we have InstaFire's made our canned heat. You'll notice that the wicks, when they're shipped, they're not very high. So depending on what you're using it, you're going to have different levels. So the more you pull it out, the more fuel you're going to use. So we've kind of narrowed it down to, I want to have 350 degrees in here. I'm going to show you how to do that. So on the back of the snuffer, we put a measuring stick. This is 1 inch. So I pull this out to 1 inch. I fluff it. And then I light it. If I just put this amount in, I'm not going to get the oven hot enough to really bake what I need. This right here is your tray. This is a fuel tray / ashtray. If you're using it outdoor, this is where all your ashes are gathered.
Cool.
Indoor, this is where we put our canned heat. So put one here, one here. Very important. This is the heat shield, just to protect it. Just put that over that. Now you're protected. So this insulates from the heat that's going to transfer down so that the cans don't overheat. I light them. Put them in here. Takes about 25 to 30 minutes to heat up.
Okay.
Okay. Allows you a little prep time for your meal, right? So now you just watch the temperature. It's not going to go whoop like this. It's just going to slowly go up. So about 25, 30 minutes, look at it. It'll be about 350 to 375. At that point, pull the tray back out. Take your snuffer, because this is going to be hot. So take this is the cap, put it over the front can. That caps that one off. Place it back in, and now it'll maintain right at 350 degrees for, an hour.
So how does the heat flow work here? I mean, how are you getting that heat to actually work like an oven?
So I woke up one day, in the middle of the night, it just came, it says, make a heat run. So I took it, this right here is the chimney, all right? We force the heat to go around here, down, and clear out, and then this is the exhaust chamber right here. Inside the oven, we have a couple of things. This is the hot plate right here. It's curved on the end. That
Okay.
goes against the hot wall made of aluminum, and that wall gets really hot. So now that heat is transferred into
that bottom.
the hot plate, right?
Okay, yeah.
Now your heat is coming from above, right, and this wall.
Right.
So now I want that to circulate inside the oven. So we've made these little cutouts. So your cold air is down here, your hot air is there. So now you got a convection oven. And then you just watch your temperature. If it starts getting a little bit low, maybe 325, if your ideal temperature is 350, if it goes to 325, then I would pull this out. Some of the metal may get hot, so just grab the wood part,
Right.
pull it out, take your snuffer area, this is the little hook, place the hook through there, lift it off, light it,
Fire it up again. Okay.
and shut that in, let it get up to your regular temperature to 350, 375, place the cap over there.
Then it looks like you've got a damper here. For this application, for indoor application, I guess you'd just leave that open?
Yeah, so there's two dampers. There's one in the front, and that regulates your airflow to the flame. You also have one in the back here,
Okay.
so that can be cut off. So for indoor use, you want to have both of those open.
Now for outdoor use, then I assume you would use those dampers.
Correct.
Instead of leaving them wide open, you would adjust those and that will affect your temperature.
Yeah, so outdoor, so now I take my, obviously my canned heat, I've taken that out, or you can use your canned heat. Let's say you're camping, you can do that. I like the outdoor way,
Yeah.
right?
Yep, some sticks and
With sticks and twigs, so I have a fire starter. So I put the fire starter in the tray. The best way to use this particular fire starter is I dump it out. I'll use maybe half of the bag. I light it. It'll light similar to a candle. Then wait about 10, 15 seconds and then give it a light stir. The premise is when you first light the InstaFire, you've lit 100 little candles. When you stir it, now I've lit 1,000 little candles.
okay.
Now, the fire is under your sticks and twigs. Your sticks and twigs goes in the top of the chimney. There's a grate that sits down about halfway down just above your fire. So now I'm not dumping sticks and twigs on top of my fire and and making a mess that way and taking away, smothering it. So we put a grate there. Those sticks and twigs will burn pretty quickly. Then I usually add maybe 3 or 4 charcoal at that point. I like to use a combination of charcoal and sticks and twigs.
Okay.
Sticks and twigs will burn quickly, bring the temperature up quickly, where the charcoal will bring it to and have an even heat. Eventually I want about 5 or 6 charcoal in there, and then once the fire comes up out of the top of the chimney, then I'll close the chimney, forcing now the heat to go through to do its magic.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when you're done cooking with the sticks and stuff, looks like there's a great dump.
Yeah, it's a great question. So now I'm completely done with my meal. I want to let it cool off. So open the front door, I usually do. And then here, there's a little rod. You push the rod in, spring loaded. That gets the grate off of the ledge. So I push it in, and then I rotate it, and that will dump anything that's on that grate down into the ashtray.
Okay.
So then I push it back in, let it come off. Now then I pull my ashes out of here, go dump them in a safe area, leave that open, leave this open, let it cool.
It's ready to transport.
It's ready to transport. Keep in mind also that all the metal will get hot, so just make sure you're using it. If you do need to move it a little bit, use the wooden handles, the wood handle here, or the wood handle in the front.
Let's just talk safety for a moment, because that's really important. I mean, in a crisis situation, we don't want something else to go wrong.
Sure.
So is this something you can just set and go do other stuff for a while? I mean, just get it going and leave? I sense that maybe it needs a little bit of tending.
I would be real careful. The heat shield that we've made for the cans, it's insulated. We insulate from the heat coming down onto the cans for indoor use. But there is a chance that can vapor. So if it vaporizes, the flame will get higher. This will protect it from getting out of control. But the temperature in the oven will get very hot. You're dealing with fire, so just watch it.
Little common sense.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, it's starting to smell good, which means it's time to snuff out one of them. Now, we want to be careful when we do it, right? And he's just going to snuff it out. Hold it there nice and tightly for a second and let it extinguish. And then we're going to put it in to cook for just a little bit longer, and we'll be right back. Okay, it's time to see. Now, let's just take this out. Looks beautiful. And then if you look at the oven, this is kind of hot, right? I've got the handles. The oven, this is warm.
Yeah.
This is warm, but it's not hot. So you may want to put something on this counter. Like sometimes we use a cutting board and we'll put that on top of here. But I'm also not concerned because it's not overly hot.
Yeah, it's not
okay,
hot.
So now that we've got this out, we're gonna go ahead and open this up. It didn't have any problem getting up to 400. Go ahead and open it up. It does take a while though, right? It did take a little while. Now one of the things that Konel told us that we can do is if it gets out of control, you can put it out. If you can make your sprayer work, hold on. So it looks like you could totally snuff it out that way, the way that he recommends doing it. And so that's just if there's an emergency, right? But the way that he recommends is you just take your snuffer and you just put it over both of these and hold it down. You can even do that while it's inside. You don't have to pull it out. You can just take this and put that in there, and then they're out. Okay, so now you see why I think this is a really cool idea. Does it work as fast as my normal oven? No.
No,
Is it
it
as
won't.
easy? No, but Jonathan has a few good points he wants to make about it.
Yeah, and you just can't expect it. First of all, we're using 2 cans of canned heat. It's just not going to preheat nearly as fast as your oven. Your oven is meant to preheat. Ours is what, 5 minutes to get up to, or less?
Yeah.
And this takes about 30 or 35 minutes to get. And then if you put something with a lot of mass, and especially something frozen, we did that on Saturday. We did some cookie dough, some frozen cookie dough, filling the entire pan. That took a while because all that cold mass has to be overcome. So it the temperature dropped down before it finally started coming back up again, because we had to get all that cold mass resolved. So yeah, I think it's a pretty amazing tool. It's just not going to perform like your oven, but I do love the versatility of being able to use canned heat indoors, sticks, charcoal briquettes outside. You know, we prune our orchard, so we have lots and lots of good fuel for this. Overall, I think it's really an amazing tool.
Yeah. I'm impressed, and it does, you can order a carrying bag for it so that it would make it really portable. And when I was thinking about this, so I love that I can use it indoors. It's actually heating up. It's summer right now, and it's heating up my kitchen, so that's bad right now, but it would be really good in the winter time.
Yeah.
But if I didn't know where I was going or how long I was going to be gone, the thing is, the canned heat is going to run out eventually, right? But the sticks and the twigs and things like that, being able to burn that biomass, that's really good. And the bag that it comes in, I wish I had it. I ordered it and it didn't come in time. But it makes it really portable. And so overall, I think it's great. I love the VESTA. Absolutely, that would be my #1 thing to get, because although it only uses the canned heat, it heats my house, and well, not my house, but it's a little heater, and it'll cook my food indoors. But this is fantastic because it's versatile, and not very many, you can't find anything that's gonna bake both inside your house and outside. Yeah. So if you wanna click the link in the description of this video, it'll take you to their site, and there's a little coupon code. There's 2 different sites that we can send you to. One of them may be less expensive. Go to both of them and see which one you get the best deal at. But for the price, I think it's a really good thing.
Yeah.
And so now for the question of the day. How are you planning to cook your food when disaster strikes? If there's a grid down situation and you don't have power and all of your normal cooking is gone, how are you going to cook indoors? And how are you going to cook outdoors? Safely, very safely. Yeah. Comment below. And thanks for being part of the solution.